Hi, I'm Shelley Youths, and I'm the pastor at the Kamloops Free Methodist Church, and I'm wanting to introduce to you a new series that I'm beginning this week. It's called Going COVID Crazy: Christian Pathways to Better Emotional Health. This time of the COVID-19 pandemic is like no other. There are huge issues of global health and security. Financial markets are struggling, and people have individual concerns of staying healthy themselves and keeping their families healthy. It's a time of great anxiety for many. Loneliness is accentuated by isolation and physical distancing, and people are just concerned about many things. At the very least, our regular patterns of work and socializing are upset. A friend of mine sent me this, which I just want to read to you. Be careful out there, because people are going crazy from being in lockdown. I've just been talking about this with the microwave and toaster while drinking coffee, and we all agreed that things are getting bad. I didn't mention anything to the washing machine, as she puts a different spin on everything. Certainly not to the fridge, as he is acting cold and distant. In the end, the iron straightened me out as she said, "Everything will be fine. No situation is too pressing." The vacuum was very unsympathetic, told me to just suck it up. But the fan was more optimistic and hoped it would all soon blow over. The toilet looked a bit flushed when I asked its opinion and didn't say anything, but the doorknob told me to get a grip. The front door said I was unhinged, and so the curtains told me to, yes, you guessed it, pull myself together. It's good to have someone to talk to. Seriously, though, who isn't going a little bit COVID crazy? Just this week in the news, there was a mention of a poll of Canadians who indicated to the degree of 50% that their mental health is worsening during this time of the pandemic. 50%, that's half of Canadians. That's a lot. In some ways, we are all struggling. And so whether depression and anxiety are new to you or all too familiar, maybe it's time to take a look at this. I want to say that if you're seriously struggling and feeling overwhelmed or desperate, reach out now for help by calling 911 if things feel really desperate, or 811. You can also look up 811 online and find lots of help there. There are crisis lines in BC that you can call. One crisis mental health line is 310-6789. There's no need for an area code, just dial that number. In this series, I'll be talking from a Christian perspective. There's a ton of mental and emotional health information available in our society. There are private counselors and public counselors. There's health professionals of various kinds that can help. There are resources on the internet. There's the Canadian Mental Health Association. There's Anxiety Canada. There's lots of resources. But the slant that I'll bring to this is as a Christian pastor. And so it's a spiritual perspective. The information that I'll give you is not contrary to what many authorities would say on these topics, but it is based in a spiritual and a Christian perspective. I'm not a counselor or a mental health professional, but a Christian pastor and teacher. I'm not really one for titles, but on paper, my titles are Reverend Doctor. Reverend refers to being a pastor and teacher and in charge of a local congregation. And doctor indicates that I have a doctorate and have done studies in, my thesis work was in prayer for emotional and spiritual healing. There will be at least 4 talks: depression, anxiety, addictions, and one either on loneliness or grief. I'm thinking about that one still. There may be more. But I thought I would wait and see where we are at in the pandemic and whether these have been helpful to people. I'm hoping and praying that you will benefit from and be blessed by Going COVID Crazy: Christian Pathways to Better Emotional Health.